Have you ever wondered why finding love seems like finding a needle in a haystack? Love, in its purest form, is complex, intricate, and occasionally elusive. It's like a captivating puzzle, every piece unique, and when they fit together, it creates something beautiful. Yet, the journey to finding the one can be riddled with challenges. In this vast world filled with millions of people, we are often overwhelmed by the plethora of choices. This is known as the paradox of choice. It's a psychological phenomenon where too many options can lead to indecisiveness, making the quest for love seem even more daunting. You might be looking for someone who makes your heart skip a beat, someone who understands you in ways others don't, or perhaps someone who simply feels like home. But amidst the sea of potential partners, how do you find that one person? But what if there were strategies to make this task easier? To make the haystack smaller or the needle bigger? Did you know that love is more science than magic? That's right, the fluttering butterflies and the quickened heartbeats are all part of the complex yet fascinating science of attraction. Let's delve into the biology of it all first. Have you ever wondered why you're attracted to certain facial features? Symmetry is the answer. Studies suggest that we are inherently drawn to symmetrical faces. Evolutionarily speaking, symmetry is perceived as an indicator of good health and genes, making symmetrically faced individuals more desirable mates. Now let's move from the visible to the invisible, the realm of sense. Pheromones, those elusive chemical signals, play a significant role in how attractive we find others. It's like our body's way of whispering, hey, this person could be a good match. It's fascinating how these invisible molecules can have such a profound impact on our romantic choices. But it's not all biology. Psychology also plays a significant role in attraction. For instance, shared interests. Ever noticed how you're more likely to be drawn to someone who shares your love for books or football, or even your peculiar obsession with collecting vintage stamps? This is because shared interests create a sense of familiarity and connection, making the person seem more attractive to us. And then there's the halo effect, a cognitive bias where our impression of someone can be influenced by our overall opinion of them. So if you think someone is kind or funny, you're likely to also find them more physically attractive. Our minds, it seems, have a knack for painting rosy pictures when emotions are involved. In conclusion, attraction isn't just about Cupid's arrow. It's a complex interplay of biological and psychological factors that influence our perceptions and desires. So next time you feel that inexplicable pull towards someone, remember, there's a whole lot of science behind that spark. So, understanding the science of attraction might just be your first step in finding the one. What if I told you being vulnerable could be your secret weapon in finding love? It's a bold statement, isn't it? But hear me out. Vulnerability, the act of opening up and showing our true selves, is a potent ingredient in forming deep, meaningful connections. It's not about playing a role or wearing a mask. It's about being real, being you, raw and unfiltered. It's about letting someone see your strengths and weaknesses, your triumphs and failures, your laughter and tears. Psychological studies have repeatedly shown the power of vulnerability in relationships. One study from the University of Illinois found that couples who practiced vulnerability reported significantly higher relationship satisfaction. They found that being open and honest, expressing emotions, and sharing fears and hopes led to a deeper understanding and mutual respect. Another study from the University of Arizona found that partners who were willing to be vulnerable had more trust in their relationships. They felt safer and more secure, believing their partners would be there for them in times of need. But how can we be more vulnerable? It might seem daunting, especially if you've been hurt before. But here's the thing. Vulnerability is not about being weak or submissive. It's about being brave enough to show who you are without fear of judgment or rejection. Start small. Share something personal, a dream, a fear, or a memory. Listen to the other person's story and respond with empathy and understanding. Don't rush or force it. Vulnerability takes time and trust. Avoid playing games or trying to appear perfect. Embrace your imperfections and let others see them too. Show that you are human, that you make mistakes, and that you learn from them. And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Vulnerability is a journey, not a destination. It's about growing and learning, about becoming more comfortable with who you are. So, the next time you're wondering how to connect with someone on a deeper level, remember the power of vulnerability. It's about being real, being you. Remember, showing your true self might just attract your perfect match. Ever noticed how we often fall for those closest to us? This, my friends, is no coincidence. It's a well-studied phenomenon in psychology known as the law of proximity. This law suggests that physical or emotional closeness often leads to attraction. In simple terms, the more we see someone or interact with them, the more likely we are to develop feelings for them. This law is based on the premise that familiarity breeds fondness. It's not just about geographical proximity, like living in the same neighborhood or working in the same office. It's also about emotional closeness. When we share experiences, thoughts, and emotions with someone, we feel a sense of intimacy that can lead to attraction. It's like a hidden thread weaving two people together, stitch by stitch, until a beautiful tapestry of connection emerges. So how does this help us find love? Well, it's about opening our eyes to the possibilities around us. Love could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. We often search far and wide for the one, neglecting those who are already part of our lives. But maybe the one is someone you already know. Maybe they're a friend who's been there for you through thick and thin, or a colleague who makes your workdays a little brighter, or even a neighbor who always greets you with a smile. The law of proximity encourages us to look at our everyday situations and environments with fresh eyes. It asks us to consider the potential in every interaction, to see each conversation as an opportunity to connect. It reminds us that love isn't always about grand gestures or fairy tale moments. Sometimes it's about shared laughter over a silly joke, mutual support in difficult times, or the comfort of knowing someone is there for you, no matter what. So as we navigate our quest for love, let's remember that proximity matters. Let's appreciate the people in our lives and the connections we share with them. Let's treasure the moments that bring us closer, physically and emotionally, to those around us. So, the one might be closer than you think. But what if the one isn't found, but made? That's a question that may turn your whole perspective about love upside down. It's a thought that challenges the age-old belief that love is all about destiny, about fated stars and perfectly aligned cosmic events. This perspective instead introduces the idea that love, the kind of love that lasts, is actually a deliberate choice. Let's delve into this concept of conscious love. Conscious love is not about the butterflies in your stomach or the sparks flying around. It's about choosing to love someone, day in and day out, through the good times and the bad. It's about consciously deciding to invest your time, your energy, your emotions into a relationship. Why, you may ask, is this important? Well, it's because conscious love is sustainable. It's the kind of love that weathers the storms of life. It's the kind of love that doesn't wane with time, but grows stronger with each passing day. But here's the catch. Conscious love is not easy. It requires effort, commitment, and yes, sometimes even sacrifice. It's about choosing to love someone even when they are at their worst. It's about choosing to stay even when it would be easier to walk away. This is not to say that passion and romance are not important. They are. But they are the starting point, not the destination. The destination is a deeper, more profound love that stems from a place of conscious choice and commitment. Conscious love also means understanding that love is not about owning someone, but about learning to coexist with them. It's about embracing their flaws, their quirks, their idiosyncrasies. It's about learning to love them for who they are, not for who you want them to be. So, if you're looking for the one, maybe it's time to shift your focus. Maybe it's not about finding the perfect person, but about choosing to love an imperfect person perfectly. And remember, it's not just about choosing to love someone else, it's also about choosing to love yourself, about choosing to grow and evolve as a person. In the grand scheme of things, love is not a passive state of being. It's an active verb. It's a conscious choice we make every day. It's about choosing to be kind, to be compassionate, to be understanding. It's about choosing to listen, to communicate, to compromise. It's about choosing to fight, to strive, to persevere. So the next time you wonder about love, remember this. In love, as in life, we are not mere passengers. We are the drivers. We are the architects of our own destiny. And that's the beauty of conscious love. It empowers us. It gives us control. It makes us realize that we are not at the mercy of fate, but at the helm of our own love stories. So, perhaps the real trick to finding the one is realizing you have the power to make it happen.